When you need legal guidance, MyLegalWhiz is your convenient online legal resource and assistant. Start by going to credits.mylegalwhiz.com. Once logged in, type, for example, MGCQ, which stands for Modified General Community Quarantine, and all information related to MGCQ will appear. Click the link and you'll see guidelines for areas under MGCQ. If you need assistance, we have Leah. Leah stands for Legal Engineer Assistant. She helps in doing legal research and writing documents. But before that, you need to know how to use Leah's page. First is the drop-down menu. This allows you to choose what type of document, task, or request you need from Leah. Then type your request or concern. In this text box, you can ask any legal question that you have for Leah. For example, if you're a landlord and you want to know if you can start collecting rent during ECQ, it's just as easy as typing your question. You can even attach a file for Leah's reference. You'll receive an email confirming that we have received your inquiry. In a short while, you'll receive a notification with Leah's response. Go to your inbox, click View, and see the answer. Let's try to search for another topic. All information related to video conferencing will appear. MyLegalWhiz also allows you to download forms for a specific amount of credits. You can do that by selecting Legal Forms in the menu bar. Let's say you want to download a training agreement form. Click the green button so you can fully download it. You may download it in different file formats found in the upper right corner. You can now use it for your intended purposes. Can't find what you're looking for? Ask Leah. And that's why MyLegalWhiz is the best digital legal assistant.
Attorney Dexter Feliciano of MyLegalWhiz, our provincial staff and business counselors, our micro, small, and medium enterprises, and other DTI partners, may baga-bigat katayuan. As we navigate through the challenges brought about by the pandemic, together, we in the Cordillera have found different means to continue with our day-to-day lives despite the constant fear and anxiety. The most notable change is our shift towards everything electronic and online. From our grocery shopping to our meetings, indeed, we have witnessed how our daily activities were woven through different innovation and technology. Today, we are introduced to another innovation, the MyLegalWhiz and Ask Free Legal Advice, or Ask Leah. MyLegalWhiz is an innovative online platform for legal knowledge, documentation, and research services that can help our micro, small, and medium enterprises without spending immediately on technical legal references or without getting a professional retainer for their legal issues and queries. It provides us a wide array of legal research and knowledge assistance. With restrictions on movement and contacts, legal advising can be tiresome and complicated. It can also be costly, which our MSMEs may not be able to afford, especially with the current circumstances. To aid us in our legal researches, MyLegalWhiz has digitized and organized all relevant DTI issuances and regulations in a format that can easily be accessed, understood, and efficiently applied by stakeholders of the DTI, from its employees to our partner MSMEs. The application also showcases Ask Leia, a simplified online persona which will readily assist our MSMEs. The software and legal application have awarded DTI free credits, which will enable DTI and our MSMEs to freely search for legal materials and documents. To use the platform, simply sign up at credits.mylegalwiz.com and input MLW 500 and DTI 500 credits in the credit promo code section of that website. May I repeat? To use the platform, simply sign up at credits.mylegalwiz.com and input MLW 500 and DTI 500 credits in the credit promo code section of the website. Use your credits to download legal and business documents, as well as get answers to your legal questions via Ask Leia. May we maximize this opportunity to learn and understand more about our policies. Good morning, everyone, and thank you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. For the information of everyone, that was Regional Director Mirna Pablo of the Department of Trade and Industry CAR. Okay, so again, good morning and welcome to the MyLegalWhiz Regional Caravan for the Cordillera Administrative Region. This is, I think, Attorney Dex, this is the second among all the regions in the Philippines that will conduct this caravan for the MyLegalWhiz project. So, as I've said, we are doing this for CAR today. By the way, I am Feli Bandonil of the Department of Trade and Industry CAR. So, but before we go to the details of what MyLegalWhiz really is may I introduce or may I first acknowledge everyone who are on board today. So first, we have our main speaker. Nandyan na, lumabas na po siya, si Attorney Dexter Feliciano. He is the founder and the Chief Executive Officer of the MyLegalWhiz. And later on, he will be introducing another speaker from his group. And with me now is Miss Marge. Also on board is Miss Margaret Ramos of the DTI CAR also. And of course, watching us online are our MSMEs, our micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Cordillera, in the 6 provinces of the Cordillera Administrative Region and the city of Baguio, of course. And we also have watching us our DTI CAR provincial staff and our Negosyo Center business counselors. So I think I need not anymore explain to you what MyLegalWhiz is, because this will be explained in details by our main speaker, Attorney Dexter Feliciano. So, Attorney Dex.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for your introduction, Miss Feli. And of course, I want to welcome Miss Marge and Patrick Mabilog. So, sa mga nanonood po, thank you very much. I want to briefly discuss MyLegalWhiz and DTI during this session. But before that, we will also discuss how we can help our MSMEs in the CAR region and all over the country, of course. It will be Mr. Patrick Mabilog, our business consultant, who will discuss that. No, and then we will go over MyLegalWhiz and how it can help our MSMEs. And then we will get Q&As, no, question and answers. We will do Q&As from our MSMEs in the audience or from you po. So, ma'am, I want to know more about the current situation of our MSMEs in the Cordillera Administrative Region.
Okay, just like in any other parts of the country right now, talagang affected ang mga businesses dito sa CAR. Actually, during the height of the pandemic, which is like March to siguro May or June, talagang maraming nag-close. Most of our MSMEs are siguro close or in parang very minimal yung kanilang operation. But thankfully, starting June up to today, marami nang nag-open. Well, basically because nag-start na rin na mag-open yung mga provincial office, yung mga probinsya namin and the city of Baguio, of course. So may mga nakakapasok na. Before kasi as in totally lockdown from since the pandemic started, no, naka-close talaga, walang nakakapasok, walang nakakalabas from the Cordillera. Yun lang talagang mga APOR, we call them APOR, yung mga authorized persons outside the region na mga personnel. Okay, so as I've said, marami na sa kanila ngayon ang naka-open, but minimal pa rin ang kanilang, hindi pa rin sila full operation kasi nga hindi pa rin talaga kami totally open ngayon. Wala pang mga public utility vehicles, yung mga regular na mga buses going in and out of the region, sa probinsya man o dito sa city of Baguio, wala pa. So meaning yung mga regular na mga, like for example, our micro enterprises who regularly transport their products to their markets in Metro Manila, hindi pa nila masyadong nagagawa ngayon kasi nga the usual kasi na mode of transport ng kanilang mga products are through the buses, public utility buses, no? Tapos, ngayon, medyo pag nag-transport ka, pwede naman yung mga private vehicles, no? Kaya lang, mahirap kumuha ng mga transport permit, and then medyo mahal kung magre-rent ka ng mga vehicles. So, may effect yon, malaki ang effect yon sa mga businesses namin. But like for example, in the city of Baguio, starting September 16, we are going to open already to local tourists. Okay? So, medyo ano na yan, may malaking effect na yan. Dito, most especially dito sa Baguio. Kasi di ba, Baguio is basically a tourist area. Di ba, doon nabubuhay ang Baguio sa tourism. So, pag walang mga tao, walang mga tourist, patay lahat ng mga business, the restaurants, the hotels, lahat ng mga all establishments that are catering to tourists, talagang malaki ang epekto ng pandemic. So ngayon, starting September 16, as I've said, we are going to open up to local tourists. So hopefully, by then, magpipick up na. But of course, we are also expecting, when we started opening nga, yung medyo nag-loosen up yung quarantine dito sa CAR, medyo nag-start ng magpapasok ng mga tao. Nag-spike din naman yung cases, yung mga COVID cases. So, open and close kami dito ngayon. So, depende sa pero yung mga, parang Metro Manila na parang cluster. So, may mga barangays lang na mag-open, yung may mga cases, may mga barangays na ay close, may mga barangays na naka-open lang kung wala naman silang cases. So, ganon. As I've said, we are starting to pick up. Business is starting to pick up. Hopefully, tuloy-tuloy na yan until the end of the year. Hopefully rin, magkaroon na ng yung hinihintay natin na vaccine para medyo kampante na yung mga tao to do business, to go in and out of the region.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for sharing that one. Actually, we are very excited to visit Baguio again. Kasi actually, we were planning to go back to our northern part of our country. Ikaw, Patrick, nakapunta ka na ng Baguio?
I've been to Baguio a few times.
Yes.
I'm from Region 6, Bacolod City po. Actually, kami po, we also had plans din sana to visit Baguio nitong summer. So, na-cancel din. Pero we're excited to really come talaga.
At hindi lang Baguio. We also have, you can go to
Sagada.
Tama, Sagada. Yun, hindi pa namin napuntahan.
All of those for now are medyo close pa. Wala pang public utility vehicles going in and out of those provinces. But as I've said, siguro within the month, baka mag-open na rin siya to local tourists and for people outside the province.
Great.
Yes, we're excited po. So, ma'am, that's the reason why we are here. No, we partnered with the DTI para matulungan natin ang ating mga small and medium-sized businesses dyan sa Cordillera Administrative Region. So, I just want to remind everyone, the MSMEs who are watching, the business counselors, no, sign up for free at credits.mylegalwiz.com and input the MLW 500 code and also the DTI 500. However, ma'am, what we did is we customized the code for the administrative region, Cordillera Administrative Region or DTI-CAR. So makikita nyo po dyan sa ticker, input DTI-CAR 500. So hindi na po kailangan DTI 500. Mas maganda po yung DTI-CAR 500. So ang ano po magagawa niyan? Basically, it's your online or digital legal department. Alam naman po natin, hindi naman makalabas yung mga entrepreneurs natin. Hindi makalabas yung mga MSMEs natin dahil may mga rolling lockdowns na tinatawag. Now you can access legal knowledge, information, documents, and assistance at the comfort of your home or whatever or wherever you are. So here with MyLegalWhiz, makatutulungan ka namin, ang DTI po at ang MyLegalWhiz matutulungan po namin kayo at the comforts of your home or your business location kung nasaan ka man. Now, before we discuss further, I want to introduce Patrick Mabilog, who will discuss about the 5 lessons to help your business to survive the COVID-19 pandemic. Ito pong nasa screen natin, no? So, Patrick, can you share us your views about these lessons?
Sige, good morning everyone. So, siguro just to jump off, I just want to give a little context about what I do. So, I'm actually a business consultant by profession po. And yung specific niche ko talaga for the past couple of years has been helping businesses shift to online operations. So I work mostly with e-commerce businesses. Karamihan po ng clients po natin are businesses that earn from the internet, they earn from social media, they can operate online, and they usually have yung mga teams po natin in my agency, Block 10 Agency. That's the name of my business. We are a virtual business that works with virtual businesses po. And so the past couple of months, honestly, have also been a bit hard for us, but for different reasons. The sales of our clients have not really been directly affected. Of course, there are still some effects because as much as we would like to sell to people, people also are limited in terms of income po ngayon because of the lack of employment. Businesses are also, so it still has a ripple effect, but the effect has been as bad, I would say. In fact, for us po specifically dito sa Block 10, the past 4 to 5 months have actually been some of our busiest months. Kasi po ang daming businesses that want to shift to online, which I think is a good thing because businesses are starting to realize this trend that has been there for a while, pero hindi lang po napapansin kasi there was really no need, and that trend really is shifting to digital. As you all know, the COVID-19 pandemic has ushered in a new normal for us, and a very big aspect of that is digitization of services po. And so what that looks like for us is we're all trying to survive. Hindi nga, honestly, not even thrive. I mean, we want to stay positive and shoot for the stars and all of that. Pero if you're a business owner here today, you're watching this and sinasabi nyo po na we're really just looking for ways to survive. We're here to tell you that there's a way naman. That's the reason why we want to help. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this caravan because we want to give the free codes to everyone, so that in a way it will also help you as well streamline your operations and move to digital. So I want to just quickly talk about this, yung 5 lessons to help your business survive the COVID-19 pandemic. This comes from Fast Company, actually. This is not really from us specifically, but we really saw it to be something really helpful and we wanted to share to people. So 5 lessons lang. The first is to focus on what sells. Ngayon po, with the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a drop in terms of luxuries. So alam po natin, like in Baguio, of course, tourism has really taken a hit. Pero alam naman po natin that there are still some necessities that we can move into naman. Like hotels, for instance, if you look at what they've been doing, is they've been shifting towards providing their accommodations to call centers. Para yung call center agents po natin can observe health protocols, and then yung mga hotels po na kinukuha nila are close to the call centers, so they can minimize yung travel po also for safety. So that's one good example of what it means to focus on what sells. Everyone, I believe that most, maybe not everyone, but most businesses, meron naman po kasi sa mga kasing businesses, all of us, we all have a product that is a necessity at some point. So it's really best to focus on that. And then second is to stay focused on what you know. So what that means is really operate on your core competency as a business. Ano po yung mga talagang what's unique about your business? What are you really good at? Kasi po, I'm sure that 80 to 90% of the reason why you succeeded in business in the first place was because you did it very well. So focus on your strengths. Kasi yung strengths nyo po, that's what really brought you success. And I think that will really help you in this, especially in these unprecedented times. The third is to really, ito po, this is very important, to move to digital. I'm not saying that we will move completely to digital. Even as a digital marketing consultant, I still believe that there's still a place naman po for brick and mortar. Yun po, yung having a physical store, having physical operations, having a physical office. It's not completely useless naman po. I mean, that's still an important part. But siguro it's about time to start mixing it up a bit. Trying to put new digital platforms, opening social media accounts, creating your own personal website, and then moving most of your services as much as possible to online already. Ngayon po, there are so many services that can allow us to operate online, like finance. There are services already that you can do your finance and your accounting online po. The same then with legal services. That's why we're doing this, MyLegalWhiz. Kasi po we realized that with the shift to digitization, we want to be able to innovate and to move with that as well here in MyLegalWhiz. And it's really helped a lot of people because now we can get e-notarizations, we can get consultations through Ask Leia without having to go physically to a law office, and then in that way parang keep the health protocols. We've been able to help law students study for even if they're studying from home. So this has been really helpful. So it really helps to go digital. Number 4 is to go all hands on deck in terms of diversification. And I've heard people say na parang that might sound like a contradiction to number 2, but I think it's not really a contradiction, but it really just kind of builds a clear, like a more complete picture of what we want to do now. I believe that there is really a need to focus on our strengths, pero kasi po alam naman po natin within our strengths, within the areas that we are good at, we can diversify in that sphere naman. One good example of that is to develop new products out of your strength. I've been helping a lot of businesses in terms of how to do that, how to come up with new offerings, come up with new payment plans. There are just so many ideas under the sun where we can innovate within the area that we are actually good at. A good example of that probably would be if you're a bakery or a restaurant. You have the raw materials, you have the knowledge, you have the capacity. Maybe you as a business owner, you're handling the kitchen hands-on, and then you have those ideas that you want to try to use whatever you have right now to try to develop new products, new new bakery products, baka some products that you haven't tried before. I have a good friend right here in Bacolod City po, that in this pandemic they used to focus mostly on party cakes. So yun po talaga yung main business nila. But because now we don't really have a lot of birthday celebrations, they moved to making different kinds of bread, diba? They created cheese rolls and ensaymada, mga products like that, and it's been selling like hotcakes for them, and it's helped their business really survive this pandemic. I think that's a good example. And number 5 is really to get simpler and go small. Like I said earlier, as much as we want to thrive in this season, maybe for some of us, surviving is really just for now. And one way to do that is to really simplify your operations. We don't really have to think about multiple stores yet. We don't really have to think about trying to be as fancy. Or we really just want to digitize and to really move towards finding a way where we can balance both profitability and safety. I think yun talaga yung goal for businesses ngayon. How can we, in a way, diba, I mean, still have that cash flow, because we all know that cash flow and liquidity that's the bloodline of your business. But also at the same time, where we're not compromising public health and safety naman po. So I think with these 4 tips that can really help you find a way to balance those 2 aspects in your business.
Yes, Patrick, thank you for sharing it. Tayo nga ngayon, we're doing business online. I mean, we can talk. Kay ikaw, nasa Bacolod ka, sina Miss Feli and Miss Marge nasa Baguio. And sabi ko nga, I want to ask Patrick, how about the restaurants? Especially they are relying on dine-in. Diba, kailangan may traffic sa kanilang restaurants. How do you think can they adapt in this new situation or uncertain period ngayong pandemic?
Well, that's a good question, 30 Dex. No, there's actually a lot of ways. I mean, siguro just from my standpoint as a consultant, I see a lot of good examples around me with the clients that I serve and the community I'm part of. One good example, of course, number 1 is really to focus on deliveries. I think that's the most obvious one, which there's a lot of pero there are ways naman. Sorry, am I still on? Am I still there?
Yeah. Medyo naging choppy, but you can continue.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm back. Okay, sige. So yeah, like I was saying, so moving to delivery is one way, because families are realizing that if you've noticed, diba, families are really investing into making their dining areas look good. Kasi they're starting to realize that it's actually the experience of dine-in is still I mean, it's still pretty much the same as tawag dito. I mean, at home, especially if, I mean, at the end of the day, the purpose of dine-in naman talaga is not the place itself, diba? It's the people that you're eating with. So I think families are really realizing that. So moving towards delivery really helps. So of course, the opportunities I see there as well, number 1 is you can save on the front of house, which is usually yun po yung dining area po ng restaurant. So I think this is a good time to just let go of whatever you have in the front of house for now. If you're strapped for cash, for example, maybe it might be a good idea to start selling muna yung mga pa natin, yung mga the furniture that's in your dining area, probably even just letting go of that for now. Well, of course, we save on utilities because we don't have to pay for aircon. So consider that, try to move that towards the back of house, which is your kitchen, and then just really try to really stream. I think number 5, really go simpler and go small. I've had one good friend, restaurant owner. Alam naman po natin, we still want to provide employment, diba? So yung problema po with closing down the front of house is you let go of your waiters. So parang, di ba, I mean, you want to help them out naman. So what he did was he turned the waiters, kasi yung mga waiters po nila, most of the time, would ride the motorcycle going to work. So sabi niya, I mean, you have a motorcycle, why don't we just make you the delivery person? And then we can put a delivery fee, and then that's your income. So parang it worked out for the best naman ba. So finding ways to innovate talaga and realize na, well, this is not really gonna last forever. So if you sell your tables now and your utensils now, you can always buy new ones naman. I think that really, I think for now what really matters most is we go back to the going simple and going small. The most important part of a business in the food industry is the back of house. This is your kitchen. So really just trying to focus on that for now really helps out. And then of course, I mean, just finding ways to save here and there. I mean, making use of all of the like ito, yung mga free, there are so many free applications that we can use now.
So in other words, going digital again. No,
digital talaga. Yeah. So if you're a restaurant and you haven't been active on social media, for one, I think this is a good time to start being active on social media. If you don't have a website, or if you don't have a payment gateway, a way to collect payments. Alam mo, I mean that's just a topic on its own completely. But there are many ways naman to accept payments. You can do bank transfer, open a GCash account. We really just have to do things that we're not used to. Probably something that's not intuitive. Go over that slump, try something new, and then just experiment as you go. One idea I always share as a business is the ready, fire, aim principle. I learned this from a really good friend of mine who's also a consultant. I work with him every now and then. He shared to me this idea na parang, kasi most business owners, we want to ready, aim, fire, diba? Dapat perfect lahat. Dapat maganda yung idea kaagad. Dapat yung plan is foolproof. Pero honestly, especially in the middle of a crisis, that never really happens. So the best thing that we can do is get ready, and then, shoot from the hip, fire, and then look at what you did. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? How can I improve? So parang, I think if we have that kind of mindset now, it can help us a whole lot more. In
other words, Patrick, it's experimentation. No, experimentation on what really works. Although again, focusing, staying focused and just getting smaller. We just need to just experiment on different things that can help our businesses. So going back to digital. So because this is we will be discussing more of digital now. So
Attorney Dex, I just
yes, ma'am.
One concern dito sa car lang, no. Going digital is the way to go now, sabi niyo nga, no. But the thing is here in car, I'm not sure if you also experience it in Region 6, Patrick, but we have concern on connectivity. Kagaya ni Patrick ngayon, naka-freeze. Di ba? Mga ganyan. So yun yung ano namin, yun yung concern ng mga, lalo na ng mga micro enterprises namin who are there sa mga liblib na mga puok. So connectivity talaga is a problem. So how can you go digital when you cannot even connect to the internet, right? So how can you sell your products online when you cannot even connect to the internet? So yun yung nagiging, kahit nga sa mga ganito, mga activities na ganito that are online, we're having a hard time sometimes inviting participants to participate kasi nga hindi sila makakonect sa internet. And it's using pa yung regular na data load, diba? It's pretty expensive, that we must admit, no? So pag yung 1 hour that they will be viewing or attending a seminar, simple seminar, it will cost them already. So paano yung mga ganang mga concerns natin kaya na, kasi yun nga ang ano namin yun ang nagiging concern namin dito sa car. So that's why we cannot really go fully digital.
I agree.
Alam mo, ma'am, Dex, can I say something lang?
Yes, sure.
actually, alam mo ma'am, that is actually a very good point, no, that you made. And it's such a good timing kasi you said that when I lost my connection for a while there kasi mahina din po yung signal namin dito. Pero, well, I mean, we all know for a fact, sorry, Miss Donna, no, my Tagalog is not very good kasi I'm Bisaya po. So, I hope that you can, bear with me.
Ako na lang magtatagalog mamaya.
Yeah, no. So,
don't worry, walay din ako.
Yun,
okay.
So,
wow.
But I think going back to the question of connectivity, we all know as a fact that as a nation we're really experiencing downsizing. My internet connection is about 10 to 20 Mbps sana. That's what I pay for fiber. But nowadays I only get one, sometimes 800 kbps if I'm in a good place. But I think one thing that I've noticed is, I think number one is that's also why it's very important to not go all digital kaagad, because there's still really a place offline. So don't let go of your physical store. I've heard a lot of businesses say that na, should I close down my restaurant? Should I close down my physical store? Definitely not, kasi you still have a good chunk of your market that still relies on physical. And ngayon po, with the pandemic starting to lose its power already, we can have a little bit of movement already. Yun nga lang po, we have social distancing, we make sure that we wear masks. So don't lose the physical side. Siguro the digital, what it does is that it just augments whatever you have now. So the purpose of going digital is not to replace. I don't think it will ever come to a point that digital will replace the physical for business. There will still be a value for real estate, for malls, for physical stores. But I think what the social media and the digitization can do is that it can it can help us augment the income, augment the operations. Also at the same time, right now, like with products like MyLegalWhiz po and all of the products that you see online now, our developers, our service as software developers, yun yung tawag po natin sa mga gumagawa ng apps na ganito, are finding ways to simplify the back end of it so that it will not take as much bandwidth. So looking for products that do that. Like if you notice po ngayon yung Facebook, nag-iiba po yung itsura because they're really trying to lower the data, the data that it uses. Para even if you're in a place where there's slow internet, you can still use it. So I mean, of course, this is not applicable for everyone. I mean, there will be some businesses that are in farther areas that you cannot really rely on digitization as a whole. Pero it can help if we find ways to augment. I mean, imagine what it would be like. Simple lang. I mean, like a good simple example for a sari store in a village. What you can do is just create a chat group on Messenger. You don't really need a Facebook page for that. Just create a chat group where you can update people kung meron na pong stocks for ganito, diba? If simple things. Do we have stocks for Coke? Do we have stocks for food? Ano po yung bagong products nyo? Just really finding ways to digitize that really helps your operations talaga. So it's just there to augment. It's there to supplement. It's not there to replace talaga.
In other words, it's just it's supplemented. It supplements their current brick and mortar business, and at the same time don't use too much data. For example, itong video conferencing natin ngayon. Medyo mabigat ito kasi may video ito eh. But the thing is, we provide these services, ma'am. Like for example, yung MyLegalWhiz, it's all text. Actually, it's all text. May mga konting pictures tayo, but it's so easy to access it using your smartphone, tablet, and computer. So ngayon po, ang nararanasan ng mga businesses natin na gumagamit ng MyLegalWhiz, they can draft their own contracts. They can rely on their smartphone or computer at home. And I just want to ask po, halos po ba may data po ba sa car na each halos lahat po ng bahay is or businesses may data connection? In other words, subscription sa PLDT, sa Globe, o kaya sa Converge? Yes, ma'am.
Gustuhin man nila, wala. Alam mo, even sa mga provincial, DTI provincial offices na, ito,
Yes, ma'am.
may mga provincial offices pa kami na hindi kami nakakonect sa line. Okay? We are relying on yung Globe Smart na yon. So wala kami yung PLDT na regular line. Okay, so meaning you can just imagine yung stability ng connectivity, right? So even us dito sa pag nag-hold kami ng meetings, for example, there are times that some of our provincial offices cannot connect with us. Nasa sentro na sila nasa sentro na sila ng probinsya, and yet ganun pa rin. Yun ang concern dito sa car kasi we are basically, you know naman the terrain of the Cordillera Administrative Region. We are basically mountainous areas, diba? So meaning yung signal talaga is a concern for us.
Nananawagan po kami sa Globe Smart.
Yes.
Okay, ayos po.
Wala kaming mga landline. May mga provincial offices kami na walang landline. Okay?
Naku, napaka-importante.
Provincial office na yon.
Kaya nga, sana kung may nanonood dito yung representative ng PLDT, Smart, Globe, Converge, hopefully we can improve the connections dyan po sa ating Cordillera Administrative Region. Actually, ma'am, yes, I understand. Kasi when I go to Baguio, pag paakyat na, wala na akong signal Pero
may portion along the way, lalo na sa may Cannon Road or Marcos Highway, may portion doon na wala talagang signal.
Yeah, correct. So, anyway po, I know that concern, pero hopefully, no, with this system, no, kahit hindi masyado malakas ang internet, is ma-access nila. So, ito pong, I want to go now to MyLegalWhiz, Patrick. And Ms. March, do you have a question? You want to share something regarding your situation there also? Maybe some MSMEs are asking you for advice also.
I believe Ms. Feli has already captured everything, our situation in car.
Yeah, so that's great po. So ngayon, pupunta na tayo sa MyLegalWhiz, no? So for all those businesses, no, entrepreneurs who are watching, no, meron po tayong ganito, no? Kung nakikita nyo kami ngayon, definitely you can access MyLegalWhiz. MyLegalWhiz is just like your legal assistant, digital legal assistant. Bakit po namin ginawa ito? Kasi hindi nga po tayo makalabas, laging lockdown. And for us to prevent an outbreak. So we just want to access everything wherever we are. In other words, wherever we shelter, sabi nga nila. So if we work at home, you can access contracts here, affidavits, guidelines from the DTI. Ito nga, meron ako dito, COVID-19 workplace guidelines, na makikita mo lang immediately by just clicking or typing it. And then you'll see the guidelines. This is the DTI and DOLE guidelines, workplace prevention control. And of course, yung mga mga protocol natin na minimizing contact rates, guidelines on minimum health protocol for dine-in restaurants. So nandyan po lahat yan. The reason why we want to provide this online session is for business counselors and MSMEs to see how this works. Now, for example, if you want a contract, if you want an affidavit, you just need to type contracts here, contracts. And I want to let Patrick share also how you use MyLegalWhiz in your business para malaman din nila how MyLegalWhiz can help entrepreneurs. So I'm just typing here an example, no? Contract, warehouse contract, regular employment contract, etc. These are all here.
In my experience, I've used MyLegalWhiz for two specific purposes. Yung first po is using it to download legal forms, which if you're a business-to-business business, like with my experience, contracts and forms are very important kasi you have to write contracts with your clients. I've had experience in the past where I've used contracts from Google and only to find out that it was a contract for the United States or for London or for some other area where there were some provisions that were not applicable in the Philippines. So I had to basically, I mean, it caused some problems here and there. The second thing is I would have lawyers draft contract. I tried doing that, but then I realized that lawyers didn't want to draft contracts because it takes out their precious time. I mean, lawyers are very busy. They're very, very busy. I understand that. So they would rather that you would get many, not all, pero most lawyers talaga, they would rather that you have a template ready and then they can just notarize it. So that's how I've been doing it now. I've downloaded contracts from MyLegalWhiz, and then I have my lawyer basically just sign and notarize it. Because honestly, he actually he saves time that way. I save money that way. It's a win-win situation. Second, I also use it for researching knowledge. And I think also it goes back to when we Google things, no? There are two of the biggest sources of information ngayon are Google and Facebook. Pero many times, especially with legal concerns, where it's very contextual to our current scenarios, Google and Facebook are not always the most reliable sources for information. Two kinds of information that are very dangerous to look for in Google. Medical information, kasi po, if you search for kahit anong sakit sa Google, cancer na yan. Di ba? Probably if you realize, if you had that experience, yung masakit lang yung ulo mo, o nako, brain cancer na yan. So that's one scenario. And also at the same time, legal information. Kasi po yung legal information, it changes with, as a business owner, I realized that even within our local setting, marami po tayong mga announcements. Like ito, yung mga GCQ, MECQ, paiba-iba, depending on what place you are. And then the provisions are different.
Patrick, excuse me, I just want to clarify kina Miss Feli and Miss Marge. Are we GCQ or MGCQ in Northern Luzon? In Carpo?
MGCQ.
Okay, MGCQ.
MGCQ sa lahat, all Baguio and all the provinces.
So Maynila pa lang talaga ang GCQ. Yes, Patrick, please continue. I'm just want to show.
Right, yeah. So yeah, like the example that you're showing, information like that was helpful. Also, things like when should I start paying for rent, for car loans. That was also very. The financial side, kasi everything really ties up to legal pa rin. Your finances ties up to legal, your taxes tie up to legal. Lahat po, yung operations niyo po, there's a legal aspect to everything that you do. So, instead of having to ask a lawyer, who sometimes can be also very, especially ngayon that they're also trying to adjust to the new normal. This has been a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster, I think, and it saves a lot of time and resources.
Yes, actually, we want to show this one the guidelines about MGCQ and GCQ. Like this one, you just need to type, for example, COVID-19. You get all the guidelines, updated guidelines in COVID-19. Yan, so kung nakikita nyo po dito, napakadali na lang. Kasi nga sabi nga ni Patrick, pag tinype mo yan sa Google, ang dami mo pang hihimayin. But here in MyLegalWhiz, you just need to type the keywords, and then it will show in your screen, and then you just need to click on it. So kanina, Patrick, you're talking about rent. I want to discuss about that because that is a problematic situation for a lot of businesses. Both the owners of the commercial land or commercial building and also the lessee. So ano ba yung regulations natin sa pagre-renta o pagbayad ng renta? So let's type, for example, commercial rent dito. COVID-19. Yan. So this one, this is a specific question. No? Do we need to pay for residential house rent during enhanced community quarantine? Siyempre, lampas na po tayo doon. Wala na tayo sa ECQ. Wala rin na tayo sa MECQ. Pero yung sagot natin, it covers also the GCQ and MGCQ. Makikita din natin dito for residential and commercial rents due within the duration of ECQ, MECQ, and GCQ. Meron pa rin grace period, no? Grace period of 30 days. So after GCQ, may 30 days pa po yan. So kahit na nasa MGCQ ka na, meron pa rin grace period yung mga nagrerenta ng bahay. So malinaw po yan na nasa batas. Nandyan din po yung link natin, grace period for residential and commercial rents. These are very important issues, lalo na pag kailangan mo mag-recover sa business. Wala kang sales. Di ba ma'am? Pag wala kayong sales in a restaurant, for example, dito rin sa Maynila, ang dami rin nahirapan because hindi sila naka-operate. Tapos magbubukas, ang hirap din singilin kaagad eh. Yes, yung pagbukas mo, ang hirap naman kung magbabayad ka kaagad, eh wala ka pa naman sales. Kaya maganda po itong batas na to na alam natin, may grace period po. Actually, even beyond this law, marami pong nagbibigay na lessors also. Na parang binibigyan pa nila ng mas mahabang palugid o kaya half the amount of the rent. Pero at least this is the minimum basis. No? Ito po, a grace period of 30 days. Sa ano po, sa DTI car po, sa mga MSMEs po natin dyan, do they also talk about, of course, their loans? Sa mga bangko regarding their problem about refinancing?
Oo naman. Most of them are actually, di ba, yung SB Corporation, yung Small Business Corporation have approved.
Yes, ma'am, please discuss.
We call it P3 Cares, right? So yon, doon mo makita na they really are in need of financing assistance because talagang influx ng application for that particular financing program. So ang daming nag-apply. Unfortunately, siyempre limited lang yung pondo, so limited din lang yung mabibigyan. Pero talagang maraming nangangailangan ng financing assistance as of now sa mga MSMEs natin.
Yes, ma'am. Ito ho ba yun? Ito po ba ang the financial program of the government for small businesses? Ang
yes,
sabi po dito,
P3 Cares. Mm-hmm.
Oo, which is really nice kasi po the interest rate shall be 0.5% per month and a grace period of 6 months on principal payment.
Yes,
Ako,
very friendly actually. Kaya lang,
Napakaganda.
ang problema is limited yung pondo because the funds SB is a government corporation, okay? So, yung pondo noon manggagaling sa gobyerno din. So, very limited lang yung mabibigyan din talaga. So ngayon actually they had nagkaroon ng P3 Cares 1. Sa ngayon meron na silang second tranche kumbaga na ongoing ngayon na nag-a-accept na sila ng mga applications ulit.
I see. So at least po dito, nakikita natin mismo na yung guidelines, kasi ako rin, natinignan ko lang ngayon, 0.5% per month, makakatulong po yan. And hopefully, mas ma-expand pa and magamit ng mga nakararaming mga negosyo sa buong Pilipinas. So yung percentage po na nakatanggap ng loan po, meron po kayong data nun sa DTI car?
Yung latest kasi out of the 1,000, yung dito sa car lang ha, so I'm talking of the Cordillera. So we receive yung latest na data ng SB Corp, they receive around 1,200 applications and to date they have mga half of that ang nabigyan na.
That's great.
Half of that.
That's great.
So medyo pero ongoing pa rin yung processing up to now. Sasabi ko nga nagkaroon na ng second tranche. So nag-a-accept ulit kasi for some time they stop accepting applications kasi nga kumbaga napuno na yung allocation doon sa available na funds. So ngayon nung nabigyan ulit sila ng additional funds, so ngayon they're again accepting applications.
Okay, that's great. Napakaganda po niyan. Actually, dito rin po sa Maynila, medyo marami rin na pinoprocess na loans dito na naririnig namin. May mga na-approve na, pero I think there's also a releasing unit ng SB Cares. Tama po ba?
Ang releasing kasi is naka-lodge lahat sa head office ng SB. Although they have regional offices, offices and they have staff, SB staff assigned sa mga DTI provincial offices who are processing the applications. But the releasing itself, naka-lodge yon sa head office. So ini-inform lang nila yung mga assigned staff nila sa mga provincial offices na ito, ready na for release, so inform your respective clients. Ganun na sila. Ganun yung process nila.
Speaking of loans po, no, sa mga nanonood natin, business counselors and MSMEs, no, you have all the loan contracts here from simple loans, promissory note, credit line agreement. Meron din tayong board resolution for companies. So this is not under DTI, pero meron din tayo dyan. So I just want to discuss also what MyLegalWhiz really is. It's basically legal insurance. Di ba, Patrick, when you need it, for example, you don't need it now, for example, but when you need it, it's there because you're signed up and you can use your own credits and then you can just download documents or ask Leia.
Right, exactly. Kasi, di ba, as a business owner, we know this principle naman eh. Usually, yung hinahanap natin kasi is ROI, di ba? Return on our investment. So, if I spend on this service, how much does it give me back? So I usually think about that, like as a business owner, if I put this expense, what comes back? Pero minsan po kasi meron tayong expenses that are not really investments in nature. So when I got MyLegalWhiz, for example, I didn't really think of MyLegalWhiz as an investment. What I thought of it as is an insurance na sometimes I will have months where I'm paying for it, but I don't really get it back. But there will be other months where I use it, and then ang laki ng savings ko. I think the big example there is nitong ECQ last May when it was lifted. Alam naman po natin yung mga loans natin were also put on hold. I have a car loan, so I think that's a good example, no? Where in that car loan. I did not ask for the loan to be paused, pero my bank, I won't mention which bank na lang po, actually paused the payment, and then come May, when the first ECQ was lifted, told me that we're going to resume already deducting from your account, and also there is we're going to charge you interest, and the interest was pretty big. It added up to about almost 1 month's worth of payment. So it was about more than 10,000 pesos. I was shocked kasi number one, I did not ask for pause because my business goes on even with the pandemic. So I can still pay for it. Number two, it did not sit right with me that in the middle of a crisis, you're charging people interest. So what I did was I went to my MyLegalWhiz account and I did a search and basically just typed on Ask Leia, can I be charged interest for a loan during this
auto
pandemic?
Loan, no?
Auto loan. Auto car. It's a car loan. And so I found out when I was researching on MyLegalWhiz that banks are supposed to waive any fees. And so what I did was I took a picture of that. I showed it I also got a little bit of help from the inside as well. I had a friend who was working there. But at least for me, I just had that assurance lang na, okay, I have something tangible na I can show in case, So I had that confidence to say na, hindi dapat. I mean, I should not be charged for an interest. And so when they heard me talk about the legal aspects of it, which I was just reading off what was there, yun nga ito. right then and there, the insurance was waived. So I saved 10,000 pesos right there. Diba? So what is spending a certain amount of money if it can help you in certain instances? I've had a lot of instances like that. So it's an insurance. It's not an investment per se. Kasi yung investment po, yung sinasabi natin, when you put in money, you get it back in a certain period of time. Yung insurance is you put in a certain amount of money so that you can protect yourself in the future. So that's how I've been treating MyLegalWhiz.
Yeah, and also Patrick, to add, no, all COVID-19 content in MyLegalWhiz are free. Because credit-based po ito, no? One credit is equal to 1 peso. May 1,000 credits lahat. Each MSMEs po natin merong 1,000 credits. So they can use this one not on COVID-19 content because these content are for free. So ito po makikita nyo kaagad ang COVID-19 knowledge content natin. Pero ang meron lang meron lang mga corresponding credits are the legal forms and the answers to Ask Leia. So that's a great experience, Patrick, thank you for sharing that one kasi marami nagkaka-issue din dyan sa mga auto loans, housing loans, no, nandito po yan lahat sa MyLegalWhiz. But just in case you can't find what you're looking for sa MyLegalWhiz, you can ask Leia. Ito po yung pinapakita natin kanina. This is basically, ito nga yung sinasabi nila para na tayong legal aid, no? Public Attorney's Office because we have thousands of questions we get and then we answer them. Our team answers them. So here in Ask Leia, so sa mga nanonood po, you can ask questions by just clicking any of these categories. For example, you need a legal form or you want something for legal guidance, you click legal research and then you just type it here. For example, naalis po ako sa trabaho. For example, if I'm an employee, what are my rights and duties? Or if I am an employer, MSMEs, and need to downsize, pwede sila magtanong dito and check what are their obligations and rights as employers. Very important po yun. And then they can even attach it here. Meron tayong attachment dito kung meron silang instructions or something. So napakadali na lang po and then we answer those questions. Just to give an example, no, about the question. Let's check on this one first. This one. So these are the sample questions asked Leia. So some are basic, some are complicated. So I just want to inform everyone na hindi lang po necessarily business questions na pwedeng tanungin kay Leia. So a lot of them, it's about the birth certificate of their children or their birth certificate. These are basic questions. How to, paano malalagay sa pangalan ko ang pinamanang lupa ng tatay ko. Ganyan po sila magtanong. This is another one about properties and separations, annulment, legal separation, and nullity of marriage. And for business, ito po yung mga questions na usually tinatackle natin sa business. So I want to show this one, no? Please draft a letter of intent for commercial space lease. And then we will draft a commercial space lease letter of intent. There's a template there. Kung nakikita niyo dyan. Another example is what can you draft a confidentiality agreement between a sole proprietorship business and an accountant. So especially sa mga MSMEs natin who are fixing their books. Ito naman, right of first refusal, deed of absolute sale of real property. Nagbebenta ng lupa. And this one naman for shares of stock. These are the business questions, sample business questions that we get from business people. And you can also get like different, we also get very complicated and detailed questions like this one. I belong to a PESA registered company. We are situated in Cebu City. Yan. They will describe their situation, then we will answer them with legal basis. Yan po ang Ask Leia. That's how we answer our clients dito sa MyLegalWhiz.
Attorney Dex,
Actually,
just
yes,
ask question for siguro for our MSMEs, ano. If they do ask question there, usually how long do they get an answer?
Usually, ma'am, it's within 3 business days. But pag simple question lang, we can do it within a business day. For example, may nagtanong about kailangan ba silang ma-charge ng BIR for penalty, hindi nila kaagad nakuha, for example, ang mayor's permit nila. Kailan ba magra-run yung penalty ng BIR? Tinatanong kasi nila, bakit ako magbabayad ng penalty sa BIR, hindi ko pa po nakukuha yung mayor's permit? That's a legitimate question. Meron na siya lang DTI registration, ma'am. However, hindi pa nare-release yung mayor's permit nila. And then sinasagot natin yun within a day. I just forgot the question, but I think dapat may palugit din ang BIR kasi in their area, it's MECQ during that time. So skeletal workforce ang BIR, skeletal workforce din ang LGU nila. So ang I think sagot ng MyLegalWhiz or Leia team is to talk to the BIR to waive the penalty because during that time within 30 days po kasi kailangan mag-register sa BIR. Ang dapat is within 30 days from the issuance of the mayor's permit. Kasi nakuha niya yung mayor's permit ng for example September 7, nag-register siya September 10, charge na siya ng penalty. Ang sabi naman namin is usually pwede naman pakiusapan because of the MECQ August 4 to 18. Kasi sabi niya, nakuha niya ata yung DTI registration niya, ma'am, ng July 30. Pero ang mayor's permit niya, September 7. Kayo, ma'am, how do you resolve that kind of question? Do you usually answer those kinds of questions sa negosyo centers or sa regional offices?
Sa mga negosyo centers, sa provincial offices naman, concerning BIR, pag hindi talaga namin, pag questions that cannot be really answered by the DTI, usually we ask ourselves, we ask the BIR muna and then we respond to the clients. Ganon na lang.
Okay.
Hindi we outright. Pero may mga questions naman that can be readily answered by the business counselors or by the DTI provincial staff.
Yes po. Ginagawa po ng mga businesses ngayon using MyLegalWhiz, they just click anything actually here. They just do, pag di na nila alam, other concerns, click nila, and they will just ask in Tagalog, in English, in Kapampangan. Hopefully in Bisaya. Yes, ma'am.
Yun ang concern. Just for everyone out there na mga kliyente po namin ng DTI. Ito na lang po ang pakinggan natin na anything and everything actually, hindi lang naman talaga yung legal kasi baka ang iniisip nila yung talagang legal lang ang pwede nilang. So anything that na i-try nyo lang kung 'di ba na kung pwedeng i-ask sa Ask Leia na not necessarily na pure legal matters lang, 'di ba? So sabi mo nga questions regarding business name which is not really legal in terms of pure, di ba, yung proper definition of a legal matter, pero they can find answer or you can answer them actually, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Basta related to government regulations, government rules and regulations, it's covered by legal. So we researched that one, we asked BIR, we called them. There are people who are asking for LRA rules and regulations. We call LRA or we go there and ask for a copy. We do that. So we can serve all our MSMEs just like that, as detailed as that one. And not
Okay.
only that, personal legal questions. Kasi alam naman natin, ang ating mga entrepreneurs, may buhay po sila, hindi lang po negosyo. So, may pamilya sila, may kapatid sila, may property sila. In MyLegalWhiz, you can type anything here about their family. For example, family support. If you are a single parent and you need support from your spouse but magkahiwalay na kayo, you can type, for example, child support here, and you get all the regulations on child support. What are the rules provided by the law and the civil code? Instead of immediately, for example, asking a lawyer. Kasi alam naman natin, sabi nga ni Patrick, lawyers want to spend more time and, dealing with strategies and cases, representing clients. When you ask a lawyer, kasi in my experience as a lawyer, marami pang nakapila sa akin eh. As a lawyer, for example, sa public attorney's office, ma'am, you won't believe it. It's 1:6,000. 1:6,000 indigent clients, ma'am, a year sila. So how can you serve that efficiently without digital technology? In MyLegalWhiz, you just need to type child support para lang malaman nyo. Kasi meron pong nagtanong sa amin about child support sa MyLegalWhiz. Sabi niya, magkahiwalay na kami ng asawa ko, pero kaya ko pa bang humingi ng child support kahit hindi kami kasal? So dito, pag tinype nyo po child support dito, makikita nyo dito, let's project it. If you type child support, you get this child support discussion. English siya kasi English po yung batas natin. You can ask Leia kung ano ibig sabihin niya kung hindi nyo pa naiintindihan. Sabi dito, child support follows as a matter of obligation. A parent is obliged to support his or her child, whether legitimate or illegitimate. In other words, whether kasal ka or hindi, boyfriend or girlfriend, pwede po silang or obligado po silang mag-support sa kanilang mga anak. So, in other words, it's not only for business. MyLegalWhiz is, you can use it for business. It's very, very helpful, but you can also use it for your personal and family legal concerns. So kayo, ma'am, if you have questions, you can just ask Leia or research.
Okay. So maybe, attorney, you can just you can just explain, or maybe you will explain it later.
Yes,
the use of that the use of that 1,000 credits. Kasi baka akalain nila, free lahat, di ba? Na gano'n. So, most especially sa Ask Leia, there's a fee, right? For the use of this
Yes.
particular service ng MyLegalWhiz. So, pero yun yung paggagamitan noong kanilang credits. That's why they have to register, right?
Yes, you have to register po and input the credits sa credit promo code section natin. The questions are free. I just want to clarify, the questions are free, but when we answer it, it can also be free.
Okay.
Or with corresponding credits. So it can be like 100 credits, 200 credits, etc. So ganun po ang system sa MyLegalWhiz, but at least you have already the credits you can use so that you can get the answers that you need. Ang maganda po nito, Ma'am Feli, and also Miss Marge, we will also train business counselors, so we can schedule the training for all of them, maybe privately, and so that they can teach also pag pupunta sila sa mga DTI clients, or when the DTI clients or MSMEs ask them questions, they can explain well what MyLegalWhiz is, aside from, of course, watching our video today.
Yeah. Mas more detailed na siguro kung paano nila mai-register yung kanilang mga clients. And they themselves, actually, the business counselors need this. Kasi nga, di ba, nag-a-assist sila sa mga clients. So yung mga clients nila na hindi, walang connectivity, hindi makapag-login o hindi makapag-register. So at least,
Yes.
kung may mga legal questions sila, na hindi na sila magsasabi na ay sandali at tatanungin muna namin sa mga lawyers. And they can make use of the MyLegalWhiz there and then because they can just readily log in. right?
Mhm.
So yun
Opo.
yung actually yun yung magiging sa mga business counselors na nandyan ngayon na nakikinig, yun ang magiging responsibility ninyo dito sa programang ito. So basically is to assist, at kayo rin, di ba, may mga personal legal concerns din kayo. So you can make use of this platform, and then you can also use this platform to assist our clients. Yun po yun.
Exactly. Tama po 'yan. Before we end it, ma'am, I want to ask, baka may mga questions yung nasa audience natin, you just type it there. But while we're waiting, let me know if you have more comments and insights, Patrick, about the discussion before we end it.
Yeah, so I think siguro just going back to the pain point of the internet issue, ano? Alam naman po natin that's really something that we struggle with, that we don't really have full control over. Pero I think siguro I'd like to think that for many of the people who are watching this, especially, we can find ways naman. So I think, like, I was just thinking about it. If I had to, yung sinabi mo, Attorney Dex, na yung
Yes.
1:6,000 for
Yeah.
the public attorney's office. If I had to choose between, kasi I'm guessing if it's at that level, I'd probably have to wait a whole day in an office, at least until it's my turn to
I
ask
agree.
a public attorney
Mhm.
a certain question. Oo. If I had to choose that and waiting for an hour for a web page on MyLegalWhiz to load, I would rather wait an hour on MyLegalWhiz. So again, I guess what I'm saying is na there are of course certain limitations,
Yes.
but it's a matter of pros and cons kasi. If that's your scenario, then definitely that ano. And I think siguro just in my experience, especially with talking with with lawyers, no, especially those that I've worked with, when I tell them about MyLegalWhiz, usually yung question na yung tinatanong ng lahat is MyLegalWhiz replacement of lawyers? I don't think so. Kasi when I talk to lawyers about MyLegalWhiz, they're actually happy. They're not threatened. Kasi now, all of a sudden, they have a way to, kasi yung mga lawyers naman po natin, their desire is really to help as many people as they can in terms of, if you have a tool like this, it just helps lawyers talaga to educate especially the masses po, when it comes to legal concerns, when it comes to business, taxation, just personal concerns. So it's not really a replacement, or it's not something that we use to replace lawyers. I think at the end of the day, MyLegalWhiz cannot sign or notarize your papers. You still need a lawyer to do that. But what it has done is it has helped that relationship that I have with legal professionals in that sense. Kasi it saves them time, it saves me money. Like siguro, I guess the best example there is when I come up with a contract, to have a lawyer make that will cost me a few thousand pesos. Kasi po, I'm taking out their time eh. But if I have a template readily available on MyLegalWhiz, ito, especially with the 500 credits free, I think more or less that's about good for five documents at Attorney Dex, no? More or less. 3 to 5.
Yes, it depends on the document. There are documents that is more than 500 credits. I just want to clarify. For example, a joint venture agreement. A joint
Pero
venture
yun, mahal yun.
Mahal
A
yun
joint venture
kasi-
agreement will cost you 5 digits if a lawyer makes it.
Yes, correct.
So, but also, I think a lawyer will be happy if they find out that you have your own document. They just have to tweak it a bit and then notarize it, and then they'll charge you a fraction of what it's supposed to cost. So parang we're not trying to give some, I mean, we're not trying. Yan, ito nga eh, internet connection problem nga eh.
Yeah,
Pero yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, but I think I mean, even with this, we're losing connection here and there, but we're still able to get value out of this. I think that's really just the point I want to make.
Tapos, Attorney Dex, I think
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have to go through first the process of registration kasi there's one question here if they have to, how much will they pay if they register? So, siguro hindi pa masyadong clear sa kanila. If they register, paano, ano yung use ng mga credits? Pag naubos yung credit, mauubos ba yung credit? O pag naubos yung credit, how they can replenish the credits? Yung mga ganong tipo. So, siguro, explain natin.
Yes, ma'am. First is you go to credits. Nakikita nyo po yung nasa ticker. Sign up for free to your digital legal department, which is at credits.mylegalwiz.com. So ito po yun. So once you're here, you just need to click sign up. Like, click nyo lang po ito. Parang Facebook lang din or Gmail. Tapos meron lang message kami dito. You can use credits for free when you sign up. Just enter MLW500 in the credit promo code section. So when you're signing up, you just click on this one. You put your first name, last name, email, password, and of course your occupation. Are you a business person or an employee, etc.? And then you sign up. So since I have an account already, I will just log in. I'll just put my email, my username, and the password. Ayan. So makikita nyo po dito may credits na ako. My credits is 4,125. So naglagay na po tayo dyan ng credits para for purposes of our discussion today. So i-click lang po ito kasi zero ito eh. Pag nagsisimula ka, pag nag-sign up ka and nakapag-login ka na sa MyLegalWhiz, zero po itong credits na to. Walang laman. So i-click nyo lang po ito. Pag kinlik nyo itong green button na to sa upper right corner, you will put the MLW 500 dito sa credit promo code section as instructed sa sign up. So lalagay lang po dito MLW 500, load promo code, and then magkakaroon ng 500. Hindi ko na po magamit ito kasi nagamit ko na tong MLW 500. Isang beses lang magagamit. And then the DTI car 500. Ito po for CAR clients. So, DTI car clients natin na MSMEs. I-type nyo lang po DTI car 500 para mag 1,000 po ang credits ninyo. So, once you have that, you can consume legal content. You can go, for example, legal forms. Tingin po tayo na may kuha tayo ng distributorship agreement. Medyo mahaba po ito. I think this is a complicated agreement din eh, complex agreement distribute. Yan. So you go to the legal forms, check natin kung meron akong exclusive distribution agreement, kung na-download ko na or hindi. It's 200 credits. So for an extensive, complex contract or comprehensive contract such as distributorship agreement, 200 credits lang. So access for 200 credits. So tatry po natin, no? Hindi mo mababasa kasi yung buo eh. Preview siya. But you will have an idea what it is. So you click on access for 200 credits. Click lang yan, okay. And then you will get the full legal form. You can download it and it's yours already. You can edit it if you want. If you want Leah, nandito po si Leah sa left, lower left, to draft it for you, just let us know. Just click on this one. Ito po, papakita ko muna before we go back to Leah. This is the distributorship agreement. Pakita natin in full screen. Yan. So yun na-download na. Nandiyan na yung distributorship agreement. And then, I want Leah to help me in drafting it. You just click Leah here. Although you can draft it by yourself. Madali lang po yan kasi i-download you to document yon, and then you can edit it and customize it. You just need to click this one and click legal form, request for a legal form. Can you help me draft or pakigawa po ang distributorship agreement, for example, and then send. Just send it, and then we'll receive it from the back end, and then we will reply and draft the contract or the distributorship agreement. So once you get once we finish the distributorship agreement or employment agreement or anumang kontrata yan, you will be notified in your inbox. Meron pong inbox kayo dito eh. May inbox dito, mag-email kami sa inyo, and then automatically meron kayong notification dito sa inbox. And then you will see the drafted or the completed distributorship agreement. As easy as that one and as efficient as that kind of as efficient as just waiting for a few hours or a few business days.
Okay, so paano pag na-use
Malinaw
up
ba,
nila yung paano pag na-use up nila yung kanilang credits? Attorney?
Okay, pag na-use up na po yung credits ninyo, kunyari zero na yan, or for example, kulang yung credits for Ask Leia or for downloading a legal form, you just need to load it just like loading a smartphone or a phone ng prepaid using GCash or PayPal. So it can be as small as 300, 500 pesos, 1,000 to 5,000. So ganyan lang po yan. You just load it up. Pag naubos na yung credit. Yes,
There's a question here, Attorney. For 200 credits, how much would this cost and for how long would one use? I think hindi nila na-get yun na nakuha kanina na 1 credit is equivalent to 1 peso, right? Parang gano'n.
Yes po. One credit is equivalent to 1 peso. So itong distributorship agreement na nakuha natin kanina is basically 200 pesos. 200 pesos siya kasi 200 credits po ito. So sabi nga ni Patrick kanina, magkano ba to, Patrick, pag pinagawa mo sa lawyer?
Upwards of 2.5 to 4.5 depending on the content.
Yeah. So you will save more than 90%. And it's of course faster. But again, hindi natin pinapalitan yung mga abogado, no? For those lawyers who are watching. Actually, sinusupplement namin sila kasi nga yung statistics nga napapakita dyan, yung statistics ng PAO. Applicable yan sa lahat. 1:6,000. So we want to help those who cannot access the lawyers. Those who cannot get immediate legal help. Kasi ang MyLegalWhiz is accessible 24 hours, 24/7. So you just need to get your smartphone and type your question or research. So ganun po ang nabibigay natin ng serbisyo sa mga negosyo at sa publiko. Yes, ma'am.
So it's just for the forms, right? Yung preparation lang ng form. But if they want to, because of course, pag may ganyan mga kontrata, kailangang inotarize. So pag pinanotarize nila, magbabayad pa rin sila sa lawyer. Pupunta pa rin sila sa lawyer at magbabayad, diba? Pero minimal na at pag kasi hindi na gagawin ng lawyer yung buong form. Kumbaga, just the notarization.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. And usually ang cost ng notarization is 100, mahal na yung 200. So siguro all in all, you have a distributorship agreement at less than 500 pesos. Instead of you, of course, paying 5,000 as discussed. Pero Patrick, I think it's more expensive than 5,000 if you let a lawyer do it.
From scratch,
ng, yes, from scratch. Specifically dito sa Manila, baka umabot ng 10,000 or more. Kasi sometimes employment agreement, meron kaming in-interview na MSME, 20,000 ang binayad niya for an employment agreement.
Yeah.
But in MyLegalWhiz, yes.
Yeah. Kasi sa provinces, usually it's might be cheaper.
Yes. So iba lang yung sa provinces.
Pero ganun pa rin, like I remember,
Mahal.
like example, if you a deed of sale is minsan kasi percentage din percentage based.
Yeah.
So a deed of sale sometimes is, I think, if I'm right, parang up to 5% of the 2 to 5% of the sale value. So if you sell something like a car for 100,000, then you have to pay 2 to 5,000. Pero if you download the form and then have it notarized, you spend parang no more than 300 to 400 pesos.
Yes, these are correct. There are a lot of deeds here po eh. So deeds of sale ng car, deed of sale ng residential or commercial area, commercial lot, nandyan po yan. So if you click, for example, deed of absolute sale, house and lot, pag kinlik nyo po ito, makikita nyo how much, let's see, 150 credits for a deed of absolute sale of house and lot. So, mura lang.
I once paid 15,000 for that.
Wow. So, 1%. 1% ang nasa MyLegalWhiz. 15,000. Because Patrick, ganito yan. It's 1/2 of 1% of the amount of the
Bahay.
the lot,
Yeah.
house and lot.
Tama.
So, Attorney Dex,
yes,
so pag
ma'am.
ganun, Attorney Dex, yun nga, because yung deed of sale. So, kung form na, kung na-download na nila yung form, they filled it up, then they just go to the lawyer to have it notarized, hindi na nila babayaran yon, that percentage on sale, of sale, na usually that the lawyer charge.
Usually, nagcha-charge ang lawyer ng kasama na po yung notarization, pati yung drafting ng 1/2 of 1%. But since nagawa na yung deed of sale ng business owner or ng private person, and pinagawa niya, for example, kay Leia, 150 gastos na dito, and then another maybe 150 kay Leia, 300 or 500. Yes, mas makakamura siya. Hindi na makakasingil ng ganong kalaki yung lawyer. Pero syempre, it depends on the lawyer din, ma'am. Pwede mong panotaryo dyan sa tabi ng City Hall. Mas mahal pa rin, pero hindi na siguro yung parang 15,000 or 10,000.
So in short,
So, ganyan po
makakamura
tayo.
ka pag ginamit mo ang MyLegalWhiz.
Sobra po. Massive po ang impact ng MyLegalWhiz sa ordinaryong tao and sa mga businesses because nandito na po lahat and meron kang kaakibat na Ask Leia. Kaya po, don't forget to sign up for free to your digital legal department at credits.mylegalwiz.com for all our viewers right now, mga businesses natin, business counselors. Hindi lang pang negosyo to, pang pamilya din. Ika nga. So, thank you very much po. Do you have questions, Miss Feli, Miss Marge?
So, wala muna ngayon. So, yung mga business counselors, yung mga DTI staff dyan, kung mayroon po kayong questions, you can just, sabi nga, use the chat box at i-try po ni na Attorney Dex at saka ni Patrick maybe to answer your questions. But just in case, they're just both, I think, most especially Attorney Dex, he is just a phone call away, a text away, a messenger away, a Viber, chat away. So, kung may mga questions po tayo na hindi po natin ma-ask ngayon, so maybe, sabi nga niya, he is willing to, lalo na for the business counselors who will be assisting our MSMEs, he is willing to do a more intensive siguro or a more intensive explanation of everything on how to go about it on a later day, Attorney siguro. So we'll just schedule it with you.
Yes, ma'am. Just let us know. We will train your business counselors and provincial coordinators constantly. Tuloy-tuloy po tayo. We can use the whole year to do that. We want to really help and provide this innovation to all our MSMEs in the country. So we will do it region by region. We will do it region by region. Kasi po 400,000 accounts ang binigyan namin ng 1,000 credits. So sayang naman po. So we want everyone everyone to be able to sign up for free and use the credits for your business. And if we need, of course, necessary to train business counselors and regional directors, provincial directors, we will do that.
Okay.
So,
thank you for that, attorney.
Thank you, ma'am. And Patrick, thank you very much. Do you have some closing remarks?
I'm good. I think everything's been
Okay.
said. Salamat sa lahat na who joined us today.
Okay, thank you very much. Naka-display dito, petition for legal separation para malaman nila. Meron din tayong ganyan. Sana wala naman naghihiwalay sa atin, no? Pero, ayan po, kompleto tayo dito. This is your, sabi nga dyan sa ticker natin, your digital legal department, your digital legal insurance. You just need to sign up for free. So, thank you very much, ma'am, Ms. Feli. And of course, Ms. Marge for participating in this online FB session. And of course, Patrick Mabilog for your insights as a business consultant. You really helped a lot of entrepreneurs with your insights, and also us, we learned from you. So thank you very much po sa lahat, and see you next time.
Okay, so in behalf of our Regional Director, Mirna Pablo, and the whole DTI CAR family, would like to thank Attorney Dex and of course Patrick for taking your time to explain to us what the MyLegalWhiz is. And hopefully nga sa mga DTI staff na nandyan, na nakikinig ngayon, sa mga business counselor, please make use of this. Please make use, malaking tulong po ito sa atin, not only sa atin personally o sa pagbigay natin ng assistance sa ating mga kliyente, but also yung mga personal na buhay natin, nangangailangan din tayo ng mga legal advices at saka mga mga legal forms dyan. So,
yes.
Salamat ulit, Attorney Dex, and we will call you just in case na we will be able to schedule another round of discussion with our business counselor. So
anytime, ma'am. Anytime. Just let me know.
Okay,
Yes,
and then Patrick, siguro we can also get you because we're looking for resources speakers for our clients on e-commerce, on digital marketing. I think
sure.
Okay, we will contact you one of these days. Okay? Sige.
No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
both of us are available.
Okay, so maraming salamat po ulit in behalf of DTI CAR.
Maraming salamat, Ms. March, Ms. Feli, and of course, Patrick. Thank you po, and have a great day today.
Okay, bye-bye
Thank
po.
you very much po.